Ulsan Hyundai's win earlier means that both these teams need 3 points to keep alive their hopes of extending their continental season into the round of 16. It's Vietnam's Viettel FC against BG Pathum United at the Pathum Thani Stadium, the home of the team from Thailand. Just on the outskirts of Bangkok. Familiar surroundings to the home team, who sit second in the table at the moment. Ulsan have a 6-point lead after their win earlier. Both these sides need to close that gap. Kaya still rooted to the bottom after a 4th defeat for them today. Win for Viettel would leave them on 6 points with BG Pathum United, and these sides still have 2 more games to play after today. Temperature has dipped slightly, so around about 35 degrees earlier, 31 degrees at the moment. Humidity has risen. Just watching some of the players in the warm-up, and they were literally dripping with sweat. And that will be a real energy sapper over the next 90 minutes or so. These sides met just 3 days ago. It was a victory for BG Pathum United. Got an early goal in that game as well, just to settle things down. Titipan scoring after just 13 minutes. It took them till the 84th minute to see off a very stubborn Viettel side. A Viettel side, of course, who held Ulsan Hyundai until the 91st minute in their opening match, when they were undone by a late goal from Lucas Hinterseer. Viettel 5-0 winners over Kaya on match day 2. 2 defeats in 3 for the Vietnamese, coached by Heinz-Jürgen Gede, the German. And a foreign coach in charge of BG Pathum United as well, Aurelio Vidmar, who's moved from the Lion City Sailors Club in Singapore, who've just appointed the former Ulsan coach who won the trophy last year as their new coach, as a replacement for Vidmar. It's been announced today that the knockout stages will be over one leg when they take place later on in the year due to the COVID pandemic. Groups will be centralised again next year. All the dates for 2022 have been released. Viettel will hope to get themselves level on 6 points. Both sides still have to play Ulsan Hyundai in their remaining matches. Aurelio Vidmar saying in his little interview when he arrived at the stadium today that it is a proverbial 6-pointer today. Win for his side would put them on to 9 points. Nicknamed the Rabbits, of course, BG Pathum United, after the Chinese zodiac sign of the first club president, born in the year of the rabbit. Will be competing in the tournament next year. BG Pathum United, they won the Thai League by 14 points from Buriram United. Only conceded 13 goals in 30 matches in the league. Just the 1 defeat as well, coming in their final game of the season away at Muang Thong United. Really was a dominant season. 24 wins in 30 matches, plus 41 goal difference. An excellent showing from BG Pathum United. Viettel making their Champions League debut. Their only previous foray into AFC competition was back in the 1999-2000 season when they played Suwon Blue Wings in the second round of the Asian Club Championships. This competition has changed in its format over the years, of course, following a similar format to the rest of the associations around the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Viettel from Vietnam, then Pathum United from Thailand.
So here come the two teams, familiar surroundings for BG Pathum United, their home stadium, the Leo Stadium as it's more affectionately known. And it's interesting to watch the team arrivals. The opposition team just turning up in a plain coach. BG Pathum United have their normal team bus emblazoned with the team's colours that they travel to their league games with. And will home surroundings help them and stand them in good stead as they bid to make the round of 16 in this competition? I'll give you the team news in a moment. There are changes for both teams. Suspension starting to creep in now, of course. Just 2 yellow cards needed to get a suspension. A couple of players making first appearances for their various teams today as well. Socially distanced team photos. Victor in the back row there, the captain. Here are the teams. Viettel making 5 changes to the 11 that started the reverse fixture 3 days ago. Trong Van Thiet, Tran Ngoc Son, Pedro, Bruno Matos and Turang Tien An all come into the starting lineup. Pedro makes a first start, while the Brazilian Bruno Matos makes his first appearance in the group stages. We expect him to play as that midfield holding 2 alongside Jaha, who's been instrumental so far, played in every match. Referees Ryuji Sato from Japan. It's his second game in the competition. He was in charge for BG Pathum's game against Kaya when he sent off Kaya's Simone Rota on match day 1. Well, Aurelio Vidmar makes 3 changes to his lineup. Titipan Puangjani suspended, Piachinok and Yodrak drop out. Chawat Virachat, Ernesto and Chatri Chimtale all make their first starts. Diogo has 2 goals already, but has drawn a blank in the last 2 matches. Those 2 goals coming in the opening day 4-1 win over Kaya. 3-2-4-1 formation for Aurelio Vidmar. Three to drop out of the Viettel side are on the bench. The experienced Tirasil Dangda again finds himself among the BG Pathum United substitutes, as does Kevin Ingresso, one of the new signings recently. Great spirit in both camps. Again, watching them training early on, there's a lot of laughs around, a lot of smiles. They're all enjoying playing competitive football at the highest level in Asia. The bio bubbles take their toll, but it's nice to get out on the pitch and actually play matches. All the players, all the teams, the referees, the officials all staying in one bio bubble to make sure that this tournament can go ahead safely and securely. And of course all the relevant COVID protocols in place, testing, temperature checking, etc. All making for what's been a great tournament so far. It will be BG Pathum United then to get us underway. The second game of the day in this group. All looking to try and close the gap on the holders, Ulsan Hyundai, who have a 100% record at the top. BG going in search of a 3rd win. Viettel in search of a 2nd. BG get us underway, all in blue. Same colours the teams wore just 3 days ago when they met here. And an early header for Diogo goes wide. 2-0 to BG Pathum Patel, as we said. Titipan and Chawat getting the goals. There is the Viettel coach, Heinz-Jürgen Gede. Only in charge for this tournament, Truett Viet Hong is the league coach, and Aurelio Vidmar, the new man in charge of BG Pathum United. Victor. BG Pathum United coach Victor, the Brazilian. Tunez has played in every game so far. Sumania. Both sides opting to play the three centre-back formation. Kaiki's been a big plus for Viettel so far, the number 7. He's tremendously hard worker. Sumania. Patient build-up for BG Pathum United. That might ricochet here for Diogo. Manages to keep the ball in play. Sumania. Nice little give and go. Monesto there was in a offside position, so didn't bring himself into play. So Nesto ending up on the bench. I think one of the ball boys has had a bit of an issue here. Just took a tumble over on that far side. He was just trying to retrieve the ball. The balls do have to be disinfected once they go out of play, and I think didn't realise the ball was coming in his direction, the ball boy, and he's taken a tumble and landed on one of the balls and has injured his arm by the look of it. Medical staff coming in en masse. It was a nasty slip. Did water the pitch beforehand. We've not had rain for the last couple of days, despite the fact that we did have heavy showers earlier on in the tournament. So an unusual stoppage inside the first 5 minutes. Tunez and Victor have been ever present at the back. Pedro, they're making a first start today. The Brazilian has made 2 appearances off the bench so far. Hasn't come on before the 68th minute though, so getting a chance from the start today. Play can continue as the incident is off the field, so we're back underway again. Santi Park with the BG Pathum United throw. Side that began as Bangkok Glass back in 1979. 1999, the employers and the management formed a substantial football club. They were officially founded in 2006. Like a lot of Asian clubs, they've undergone name changes around the years. BG Pathum United now the name they currently have. And of course Viettel as well used to be known as Tre Kong, which was the military team. Former army club of the Ministry of Defence. Foul on Pathum. Tunez. Jaha. First touch for Bruno Matos. Rides a couple of challenges. Another Brazilian in the Viettel ranks today. Spent 3 years in Indonesia before moving to Vietnam. Haven't seen him up to this point. Interesting to see how he slots into the Viettel formation. Tienan. Chase on for Diogo. Tan Bin comes across. It's gone off the Vietnam defender last, so it will be a throw for BG Pathum United, taken already by Diogo to Ernesto. Nice little back heel. Semenya. Pathum Pod. Just out of his reach. Bruno Matos. Skips away from Tunez. And taking on Victor as well. Victor uses experience. May not have the pace, but he's got the knowledge just to get his body across. Good turn of pace from Victor. Sarak. Both sides giving the ball away cheaply at the moment. Pedro. Kaiki. First time we've seen him on the ball. Van Tiet. Long ball again. Chatri goes across. There's Noksun that's been penalised. Just running out of play again ahead of Semenya. Aurelio Vidmar, the coach, is in his second spell at BG Pathum United. He was first announced in 2016. He became the 11th permanent head coach. Rejoined just before the tournament after a couple of years at Lion City Sailors. Here's Semenya. Good running from Pathum. And it's almost turned into his own net by Van Tiet. Came back off the post, and he's managed to get it away for a corner. Well, BG Pathum United almost taking the lead. It's a brilliant ball across by Pathum. That's what caused the problem. Van Tiet knew there were players around him. It's come back off the post. And as luck would have it, straight back to him. Didn't quite reach Diogo. Victor's forward for this. Tunez is forward. Diogo's in there as well. So too Chatri. It's a deep one. Goalkeeper may have just got something on that. It's come off a PG Pathum United player, Chatri maybe, that was forward. Yeah, Chatri and Tunez between them, getting the ball behind. Kaiki. Chatri comes across. Deep ball in over everybody in the middle. It's too much for Bruno Matos. Kept in by Tienan. And then run behind for a goal kick. Well, that effort that came off the post a moment or so ago is the closest we've come to a goal in the opening 12.5 minutes. Not too much in it in terms of the possession at the moment. Good ball swung across. Diogo's header wasn't too far away. Came flying in there, Diogo. So good in the air. How close was this? Very. He's the real threat. Scored 2 goals in that opening game, along with Tirasil, who got 2. Bruno Matos. Nice little spin away from his man. Victor was there with the challenge. Referee tried to allow play to go on. Victor will be spoken to, though, for the foul on Victor at Bruno Matos. Just too high for Pedro to bring under control. Victor. Quarter of an hour gone. Still 0-0, but PG Pathum United have had the 2 best chances so far. One of them almost gifted by a stab towards his own goal by Viettel, and that Diogo header a moment or so ago. Patompom. Sumania. Now Diogo. Shot took a deflection and spins away, comfortably gathered by Nguyen Man in the Viettel goal. Have only conceded 3 goals so far, Viettel. So that one against Olsen, which came in the 91st minute after defending so well for the duration of the game. Ball by Bruno Matos. Tienan. Good ball across. It was an important touch by Tunez just to take that away from danger. Chatri. Now Santipar. Sumanya. Quite made the right decision there. There were 2 defenders in front of him. Pathum might regain the ball, but Viettel have kept possession well. Kaiki. Jahar. A little bit of a misunderstanding between Kaiki and Hwang Duk. Sumanya. Pathum. Good ball through again. Diogo almost got there just ahead of Tan Bin. Good defending. Had to be sure with that because Diogo was just looking to take that little touch to flick it round the defender. Would have left himself clean in on goal. And a good ball over the top in turn for Bruno Matos, but Tunez is there once again. Experienced defender Tunez, the Venezuelan. Pathum wriggling free, but there were 2 defenders closing him down, Tan Bin being one of them. Be a free kick. Tienan the other. Ernesto. Despite the name Ernesto, he is Thai national. Mother was from Thailand, and they allowed 4 foreigners in the competition. It helps if you do have people that were born outside the country with in their case, a Thai passport. Did play with Real Oviedo. Bruno Matos has only scored 1 goal for Viettel so far against Ho Chi Minh City back in April. It's Tienan. Bundled over by Ernesto. It will be a free kick to Viettel this time. That clean sheet that BG Pathum United kept was their first ever clean sheet in the AFC Champions League in the last match between the sides. Just a second appearance. They beat Malaysia's Jordarul Tazim in a preliminary round, but were beaten by Beijing FC in the playoffs that year. Aurelio Vidmar led Adelaide to the 2008 AFC Champions League final. They lost 5-0 on aggregate to Gamba Osaka in a two-legged final then. Quarter-finals, semi-finals and the final this year will just be over one leg. Kaiki, forward for Pedro. Victor comes across, took a little nudge from Pedro. There's no foul this time. Yeah, I don't think there was much in that. I think Victor knew that the nudge was coming. Maybe just landed a little heavily. Jaha, nicely won back, and another potential own goal that's just been denied by a brilliant stop by Chachai. I think that came off Sarak, who'd stabbed it goalward, so we could have had an own goal at both ends. One hit the post, one saved. Here's Diogo. Pathum in the middle. Sarak, Diogo. Chawat. Sumanya. Pathum was a little nonchalant with the flick and it didn't really come off for him. Bruno Matos to Kaiki. Good play, good strength by Kaiki. Pedro. Kaiki. Bursting through, it's a chance for Pedro, and the opening goal of the game for Viettel. Kaiki and Pedro combine, and it's Pedro who marks his first start with the opening goal of the game. Scored in back-to-back league games in March for Viettel, and now he has a goal in the AFC Champions League for them, and he's put them in front here against BG Pathum United. Just past the midway point of the first half. Good goal. Tidy finish beyond Chachai. Through the legs of Victor. And Viettel are in front. The changes have worked here for Hans-Jürgen Gede. I'll be delighted to mark his first appearance with a goal. Did come off the bench, as we said, but didn't have much more than about 20 minutes each a game. Kaiki, who's already got a couple of goals to his name, the provider. Good ball forward. Diogo goes down on the edge of the area. He's claiming it was a foul. It was a challenge from Tan Bin. It looked like Diogo might have got on the end of that ball as well. The referee had a good view, said there was no foul. Maybe felt Diogo was making a little bit too much of it and went to ground too early. Jaha's ball over the top, offside against Kaiki. Well, controversy from the Japanese referee in terms of not giving the free kick. It looked like a good through ball. I think he's looking for it, Diogo. Wasn't going to reach Pathum. He's an experienced referee. Ruiji Sato was in charge for group stage games in the Western section. Also took charge of a couple of internationals recently. Malaysia against Vietnam and UAE against Thailand. Another chase on here. Almost ran for Kaiki. Tunez. Noksan brought down by Santipop. Free kick. They are the most successful club in Vietnamese history, Viettel, having won 19 national titles, the most recent of those in 2020. It was their first win since the 1998-99 season. They'd been pretty lean pickings for them in terms of titles, but they won the title last year. They are currently second in the VIE League with just a game to play at the moment. They're 3 points behind Hoang and Gailal, who have a better goal difference. Came into this tournament 7 games unbeaten in the league. Jaha over the free kick. Plenty of movement in the middle, driven in towards that near post with pace, away by Victor. Noksan. Huang Duck. And Tan Bin all the way back to his goalkeeper, Nguyen Man. Viettel have looked quite composed on the ball in the opening half an hour. Obviously they will have learned a few things from playing the same team just 3 days ago. Heinz-Jürgen Gedde is a very astute coach. Former midfielder with Fortuna Köln, made nearly 350 league appearances. The changes today reflecting the way that he felt was a good way to try and get at BG Pathum United, and he's done just that. This is Santipop. No foul again. Huang Duck. So knock high the captain with a wag of the finger. Kaiki. Jaha. Bruno Matos. Not defended by Chatri. It's Viettel that are very much in the ascendancy at the moment, though. Kaiki. Pedro bursts into the area. Just had to check back because he'd strayed offside. Jaha. Headed from Ernesto. Pathum. Two players down here. Diogo has gone down as well. Just been helped back to his feet by Jaha. Jaganir Abdulmuminov to give him his full title, the man from Uzbekistan. It was the first challenge from Viettel. Annoying man, hasn't a huge amount to do so far. Not much he could do about that Viettel shot that came back off the post, that potential own goal. Tunez peels away. What can they do for the aerial presence here? Back in by Tunez. Goalkeeper saw it at the near post. There was an offside flag up anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. So up until today's match, no player had had more touches in the opposition penalty area than... one player had had more than Diogo's 22. That's Dejan Damjanovic for Kitchi, who is the record goal scorer in the competition now. No player had won more tackles than Viettel's Jaha. 75% of his tackles won in midfield. He's now just standing in front of Sarak. Chauwat. Santipap. Should be goalkeeper's ball. So it is Viettel leading by a 1-0. Pedro's first goal of the competition coming just past the midway point of the first half. That's a good ball down the line to Pathum. High ball in towards Diogo. Nice little chest down. It's well worked, lovely ball. Ernesto. Oh, it goes across the face of goal. Took a deflection and goes out for a corner. Good move though by the ties. Lovely run by Ernesto. He was onside. You could see one man had stayed in. It was Noxon who'd stayed back. That was attempted to be pulled back towards Diogo, flicked behind by Tianan. BG Pathum United's second corner of this first half will be taken by Chauwat. Away by Pedro. Kaiki. Semenya couldn't keep the ball in play. It's a Viettel ball. Reminder of the standings in the group. If Viettel were to win this today, they would go on to 6 points, the same as BG Pathum United, but they would be 6 points behind Ulsan Hyundai. Both sides still have Ulsan Hyundai to play. They would need to win both their remaining matches to reach 12 points. And they'd also need to make sure they had a better goal difference than Ulsan, because they would finish on the same points if that's the way it happened. If Viettel do win, you would feel Ulsan are the favourites to finish top of the group. But a win for BG Pathum United, and they're just 3 points behind. Only the top team goes through, don't forget. 3 of the best second place sides in the 5 groups will join them. There's Kaiki trying to turn. The man at his back, though. Ernesto. Chatri. Tunez. Diogo. Full of running Diogo, putting Neumann under pressure. That was a good header from Chatri. Pedro. Kaiki. Bruno Matos sets off on a forward run. Tunez knew he was going, just stepped up, so he would have been offside. He has come back from an offside position, though, to gather the ball, so it will be a free kick. It's only the second time that they've fallen behind, BG Pathum United. The only other time was the 2-0 defeat to Ulsan Hyundai. Here's Diogo. Just a little heavy for Pathum, who did well to keep it in play. Keeps the move alive. Here's Sarak. Sumanya. Diogo. Nice turn. Took a deflection and gone for a corner. Well, I'm pretty certain that was goal-bound from Diogo when it flicked to defender. Great turn again, does play well with his back to goal. Had the presence of mind just to step back and it flicked off Van Tiet. Just at the back of his calf and behind for a corner. So he realised he just straight offside. Diogo managed to get back onside and get the shot in. Ernesto. Sumanya. Oh, just a lack of communication, comfortable for the goalkeeper. Promising signs, though, for BG Pathum United, who are having a bit of the ball in the final third now. They can get the ball up to Diogo. They know that he's the goal-scoring threat. They do rely quite heavily on Diogo, 4 goals. Scored 7 in 13 appearances in the Thai League after moving from Johor in Malaysia. Scored 68 goals in 72 appearances for Buriram. It's going to be a yellow card for the Viettel captain, Nok Hai. And that's his second yellow card of the tournament, so it means he will miss the next match. It's a nasty challenge. Straight onto the foot of Diogo and into the book. He actually played for Buriram in the 2018 AFC Champions League, Diogo. Scored twice, once in the knockout rounds for them. Also scored a couple for Johor as well in the 2019 campaign. So he likes scoring in this competition. Got 2 in this one already. That's Victor's header straight at the goalkeeper. Tienan, approaching half-time. Given away cheaply, forward by Sarak. You see what he was trying to do, play that one in for Diogo. Four shots on goal for BG Pathum United, just the one on target. They were nearly gifted an own goal when Van Tiet hit the ball against his own upright. Here's Tan Bin. Allowed to run by Pedro. There's a man behind him though. Chawat. Sarak. Patompon. Bit of space here for Sarak. Good ball in. It's just out of the reach of Diogo again. Looking for him all the time. Law of averages says if you can pick him out enough, he will find goals for you. Just trying to get round the back of Tienan. Just raced away into touch. They do have Tirasil Dangda on the bench, of course, who scored 2 in that opening match as well. The man who spent a while at Manchester City back in the day. No Titipan today, though, who scored in the last match. He's suspended. Chawat got the other goal in that game. He's on at the moment. On again by Diogo. Too much on it. Victor. Chawat. Santipap. Lack of direction sometimes on the final pass has really let BG down. Handball. No, well spotted. Just hit the arm of Bruno Matos. Could be the last chance of an equaliser in the first half. That's too close to the goalkeeper, though. Got the defenders forward, but couldn't find the delivery there, Sumania. Couple of additional minutes at the end of the first half. It's been a good half as well. Viettel have picked up the pace. BG Pathum United have had to come out to try and attack them. They know that they have to win, really. Would be difficult still for Viettel, even on 6 points now, to mount a good challenge. They would need to win their final 2 matches against Ulsan, Hyundai and Kaya. But they're giving themselves a chance if they can pick up 3 points here. Sumania. Diogo. It's kept in play, and Nesto is offside. Pedro. His goal separates the two teams. 23 minutes in. Here he goes again. Looking for Kaiki. Important interception by Chatri. Kaiki was waiting to pounce on that. Here's Viettel. Now Noksun. Two in the middle. Huang Duck took a deflection into the arms of Chachai. Good kick out as well, finds Diogo, pinpoint pass straight onto his chest. Something to just fend off the attentions of Tianan. Diogo. We've played the 2 minutes, he probably needs to get this to the box with some urgency. Ernesto. Sumanya. Offside, and that will be half-time. So they wasted the opportunity with that late possession. The flag went up on the far side, the half-time whistle goes. And a goal from Pedro. 23 minutes in. Puts Viettel into the lead in this one. Aurelio Vidmar with work to do. Pedro's first goal of the competition. Good finish. Viettel nearly put through his own goal, but his shot came back off the post. Work to do for BG Pathum United in the second half. At the break here in Thailand. Viettel FC 1, BG Pathum United now. Welcome back to the Leo Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand. Home of the team you can see in blue there, BG Pathum United, who trail here by a goal to nil at half-time to Viettel from Vietnam. Pedro's goal after 23 minutes, the difference between these two teams. If it stays like this, it would move Viettel on to 6 points, the same as their Thai opponents. 6 points behind the group leaders, Ulsan Hyundai, the defending champions. Chachai didn't have too many saves to make in that first half. He made one save from his own player. I think it was Sarak there that stabbed the ball goalwards. We almost saw an own goal at the other end as well when Van Tiet slid the ball against his own upright and it just bounced to safety. Bounced back to him, actually. He was able to put it away for a corner. It was one of those bizarre moments that could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for him, it went in his favour. All familiar surroundings for BG Pathum United. Well, they're making changes at half-time as well. It looks like we're going to see a triple change. Surachat, Kevin Ingresso, two of those that look to be coming on. Diogo's been the threat. One bullet header which was just wide of the post. Ingresso, who was a recent addition to the squad from Buriram United. And it's the experienced Tirasil that's also going to come on as well. 2 goals in the first game. Still, we await the arrival of Viettel, but the substitutions will need to be made first. Here come the Vietnamese. "45 minutes away from their second win in the competition. They put 5 with that reply past Kaya on match day 2. Kaiki with a couple of goals on that occasion. Goal scorer Pedro in discussion with Bruno Matos. Huang Duc there, just going out of picture, scored in that 5-0 win over Kaya. So Kaiki got a couple. So Kevin Ingresso makes his way on. Started the first 2 games. He's been on the bench for the last 2. Same as Tirasil. He too has come on in the last 2 matches. And Surachat, who's yet to start, just played 12 minutes after coming on against Kaya on the opening day. So Santipap is one that's gone off. We'll confirm the other 2 in a moment. We don't have electronic boards here. They're the manual boards, which the 4th official has to do. It takes him a little bit longer. Viettel get us underway, then all in red, kicking from right to left in the second half, leading by a goal to nil. 3 of the 5 changes already made by BG Pathum United at the start of this second half. Tirasel is massively experienced. Pathum Pom and Samanya, the other 2 players that have made way. Tirasel, who had a spell on trial at Manchester City in 2007 when Thaksin Shinawatra had taken over the club. Did have some issues with work permits. Just come off the knee of Diogo. That will race behind for a goal kick. Temperature still up around the 30-degree mark at the moment. Very hot. We didn't have a drinks break in the first half, which leads me to think that it had dropped just a little. So it was up around 35 for the first match. That's a foul on Diogo. My knock high. When he was booked earlier on, knock high. And that's, I think, could be a final warning from the Japanese referee. And he's kicked Diogo. So telling off for the captain, who will miss the next match as it is. Sarak with the free kick, aimed in towards Victor. Wasn't quite enough height on it. Tunez was in there as well. It's away by Tianan. Not very far. Kaiki's header back on defensive duty. Oh, that's Bruno Matos trying to burst clear, and a yellow card for Ernesto. He would have been away there, Bruno Matos. The man born in Spain gets a yellow card for bringing down the Brazilian. Hans-Jürgen Gede was named Viettel's technical director in 2020. As coach Fortuna Düsseldorf, he had a spell at Persepolis as a coach and assistant, season in charge as well in the 1990s. He's been involved in Vietnamese football since 2016 when he was named the national team's technical director. Tien An with the ball across, away by Victor for the corner. So a positive start to the second half for Viettel. Corner taken short. Bruno Matos, it's a good delivery. Jahar around the back. Couldn't get a head on it. It was Surachat that was just making sure. Noxon. There's Pedro. Noxon again, but slices the cross behind. 8 wins in 12 in the Vietnamese league so far this season for Viettel. Failed to score in their opening 2 league games. They picked up just a point from a 0-0 draw. It wasn't a great start to the season for them, but things started to improve as the season went on. It's Viettel. Tucked in by Pedro. Kaiki. Down the line for Pedro, but the experienced Victor will get there first to guide that back to his goalkeeper. Did play in Brazil till 2016, Victor. He's a very competent penalty taker, the big central defender. Ten of his 15 goals at Rayong last season came from penalties. Good feet from Ingresso. It's just rolled out from Kaiki. Huang Duck. Goalkeeper's a long way off his line. Well, it was a speculative effort, but he knew what he was doing there, Huang Duck. So he has scored already. Saw Chat Chai a long way out of his goal. Did see one long-range goal, of course, earlier on in the competition for Pathum Prempak for Ratchaburi. It may have been Port FC, actually, from inside his own half. He was 20 metres inside his own half, and he's fired it in from long range. Brilliant goal. Huang Duck trying to emulate that. A look of amazement on the face of Kaiki, who's seen the decision go against him. Sarak. Tunez. Good ball. Ernesto's just offside. Thought he just timed his run there, Ernesto. Yeah, just went a fraction too early. Good decision by the assistant on this near side. Haven't been too many offside decisions in this competition that we've had to question from the officials. So they are all FIFA officials based in Asia. All very competent referees and assistants in their own right. There's been some good decisions made. There's Kaiki. Noxon. Stabbed back by Pedro. Bruno Matos. Jaha. Kaiki. That's the free kick, foul by Surichat. Yeah, again, he shielded the ball well, Kaiki. Was always going to draw the foul from that sort of angle from Surichat, the substitute, who will get spoken to by the referee. Averages a goal just over every 3 games for BG. 40 goals in 131 league appearances. Was actually a top sprinter before concentrating on football, Surichat. He's 35 years of age now. I'm not too sure his sprinting is up to what it used to be, but it's a useful asset to have in the team coming off the bench. Kaiki trying to head it on to Bruno Matos. Will be a BG Pathum United throw this time. Free kick rather. Cherawat double team there. Surichat. Good ball. Chawat. Diogo. He's the man you want in the middle, really. It's a good cross. Chawat! I'll take it back. That's a brilliant cross. And Chawat arriving at the near post to head in. Scores for the second consecutive match, and he's got his side back on level terms. Brilliant work from Diogo. He's normally on the end of crosses. This time it's him with the cross. And Chawat, Virachat, gets another great goal. Got him behind the defender. It was straight at the goalkeeper, but headed with such pace that Nguyen Man had no chance. Credit Diogo for the cross. Pinpoint. And that's a fine header. It's 1-1. Now be interesting to see how Viettel respond to that. That's a foul. A little hack out at Viettel by Surichat. So a draw doesn't really serve each team very well. It would put Viettel on to 4. Pathum United would go on to 7 points. Bearing in mind that Ulsan Hyundai are on 12 at the top, it would certainly mean Viettel, whatever happened in their remaining games, wouldn't be able to finish top. They might press here, though. Chapchai gathers. I think he'd have gone out of play. It will be a goal kick. Pedro, that was a high arm, and he'll get a yellow card for that. So the goal scorer goes into the book. Yeah, just using his arm to try and fend off Chatri. Under a bit of pressure now, the Viettel defence. He wasn't too far away. Chawat, who's got the bit between his teeth, though, having scored that equaliser. He's a long way out here. They've had to something a bit special to beat the goalkeeper, just narrowly wide. Would have been a bit special had that found its way in. Sarak. It's looking like an inspired team talk from Aurelio Vidmar at half-time, the way his team have come out here in the second half. It's a foul by Tan Bin. Nguyen Man just trying to get his defensive wall organised. I don't think there'll be a shot from this sort of range. They're trying to hold the line as high as they can. Viettel. Sarak and Chawat, the goal scorer. Chawat just moving away now, the man who had that shot just wide a moment or so ago. Ernesto, laid off by Diogo. It's Tunez! Finds the bottom corner. Look at the delight on Diogo's face. The Venezuelan gets a rare goal for his team. Hasn't scored since December. He'd gone 15 games without a goal, and a vital one here to put his side in front for the first time. They worked the free kick nicely. It was laid off by Diogo, and a crisp drive into the bottom corner from Tunez. And BG Pathum United lead Viettel now by 2-1. Good turnaround in this second half. The half-time team talk, as we said, has worked. Andres Tunez, the man with a Spanish passport from Venezuela, with the goal. Looks as though Viettel have just made a change. Duong Van Hau has come on. They're claiming an arm there on Kevin Ingresso. So Vian Tiet and Nok Sun have gone off. Trong Huang has come on. That was him with the foul a moment or so ago. Double change then made by Hans-Jürgen Gede. I say he doesn't score many, Tunez, but that's an important goal for his team. They're pressing forward, looking for another great header across! And Diogo this time heads in. And there's no stopping BG Pathum United now. Chawat and Chatri take the congratulations. Aurelio Vidmar can hardly believe it. Nguyen Man's been beaten for a third time in this second half. And Diogo gets his third goal of the tournament. The man who'd had plenty of touches in the opposition area. Only the competition's leading all-time scorer, Dejan Damjanovic, had more. Great header from Chatri, and just guided in by Diogo. And 2 goals in 2 minutes have put them in charge. 3-1 now. That's a brilliant header. So Diogo enjoying his first season at the club. Was at Johor in Malaysia. They're in the tournament as well, of course. I'm sure he'll be keeping an eye on their results in their particular group. Loves scoring goals in this competition. Scored for Buriram, scored for Johor, and now he's scoring for BG Pathum United. Bruno Matos. Pedro. Oh, Kike rocked back on his heels. It's all going so well at half-time for Hans-Jürgen Gede. His opposite number made a triple change at half-time to freshen things up, and it's had the desired effect. Chawat, Diogo. Surichat's header. Jahar beating Diogo in the air. I think he landed awkwardly then, Diogo. Rather than it being the challenge from Jahar. He just landed heavily on the ankle. Here's the goal again. Brilliantly guided into the corner, out of the reach of the goalkeeper. That's a quality striker who knows where the goal is. Diogo Luis Santo. Here he is again. Surichat, Diogo. Didn't have too much, well, not enough height on that to find Ernesto. Good pressing from Ingresso. Bruno Matos has taken a knock in the face, I think, from Tunez. So Ernesto with a throw, and it was booked earlier on. Well, they knew how important this was, BG Pathum United, to stay in touch with Ulsan Hyundai. So they've got to play the Koreans in the final match. They've got Kaya up next in 3 days' time. I believe Viettel on 3 points with 2 games to play, but would mean that they wouldn't be able to qualify because of the goal difference between the two sides. If they finish level on points with BG Pathum United, it would be the Thai side that went through because of a 2-0 win, and now a 3-1 at the moment. So the goal difference very much weighing in their favour. Referees kept the game flowing well. A couple of yellow cards. The handball. Van Houw was claiming he was pushed, the substitute. He's been at Viettel all his career, Duong Van Houw, since 2015, since he came through the youth system. Coming on as a sub today. And it's a chance for Chawat to deliver another free kick. We know the aerial presence from BG Pathum United. Victor's forward, Tunez is on the back again. It's too high. Victor was just being marshalled, he couldn't find a space to get off the ground. Good run from Hwang Duk. Stopped in his tracks though, good defending again. Diogo. Good solid challenge by Nok Hai. Jahar. And Tan Bin. Tienan. Jahar's ball over the top. Kaiki was onside. Chachai was very quickly off his line. Hasn't had too many touches of the ball in the second half, Kaiki. We know how dangerous he can be, and I'm sure BG Pathum United do as well. Not too much in it in terms of the passing. 47-53 in favour of BG, the possession as well. So it's been a fairly even match between these two teams. It's been an entertaining match as well. Viettel took the lead, don't forget, in the first half. Pedro, after 23 minutes, stayed that way till half-time. Goals from Chawat, Tunez and Diogo. Oh, good strike! Tipped over by Chachai. Bruno Matos. Goalkeeper hasn't had too many saves to make, but that was a flying effort from Bruno Matos and a good tip over from Chachai. Great technique from both striker and goalkeeper. Good save. Save of the match so far. If that would have gone in, that would have given Viettel a bit of belief. They've got the corner. Came off Pedro, looking for Kaiki. Anywhere will do. Was bounced up awkwardly. Tirasil waiting for some support. Tunez, good ball through. Ingresso! Offside. Won't count. Lovely play. Clever play by Tirasil, who just held the ball up, knew he hadn't got anybody in support. Tunez played the ball. Ingresso had just strayed offside. It would have been a wonderful team goal. But the new man denied a first goal for his new club. Sarek has picked up a knock. Well, that really would have put the game to bed at 4-1. Sarek is going to go off. I think the not too sure the assistant referee's got the right board at the moment. No, he has now. Yep, Sarek coming off, and Saharat is coming on. I'm still having to wait at the moment. Saharat, first season at BG last season. Came on match day 1 against Kaya for the last 27 minutes. On by Kaiki. Pedro, hooked away by Victor. Van Hau. Huang Duc. Kaiki. Nice little reverse ball in towards Kaiki again. Good defending. Here come the wave of blue shirts once more. Diego pulls away. Tirasil's offside. He knew he was offside. He wasn't expecting the ball to come to him. I don't think that's not great play. If he'd have gone other side for Diogo, he was onside. He would have had a run on goal. It would have given Tirasil a chance to just recompose himself. Viettel take on Ulsan Hyundai in 3 days' time. It'll be bottom of the table Kaya for BG Pathum United. Foul by Bruno Matos. Inside the final quarter of an hour, game that's turned around here in the second half. Ernesto, Diogo. Ernesto's just pulled up there. I think Diogo was trying to find him. They're going to put the ball out so we can get some treatment. Just a touch of cramp, I think, for Ernesto. Diogo was looking to try and play the ball back to him. Another change. Appisit coming on for a first appearance. Not seeing him at all off the bench as yet. That was a great goal. Chow up with a header. Tunez with the second. Another very good finish beyond the goalkeeper. And then the third, a brilliant header guided in by Diogo. Quality goals. And they've got quality about them, BG Pathum United, that's for sure. Here's the change. Ernesto is the man that's gone off. Appisit comes on. Hasn't played for the first team since 2019, so welcome return for him. I'm not too sure what the hold-up is. The assistant referee just checking something on this near side. May possibly be the fact that they're only allowed to make substitutions in 3 sections. That doesn't include half-time. That's Bruno Matos driving wide. Yeah, you can make substitutions at 3 points during the course of the game, plus half-time. Maybe just questioning whether they'd made all 5. They have made all 5 changes now, BG Pathum United. Offside flag up again against Kevin Ingresso. Bit tight to that one. I think he was just offside though. Still pressing. Diogo was just looking for that one to be slid in by Tirasil. Couldn't quite find him though. Just 2 more games coming for you tomorrow in Group J. Cerezo Osaka taking on Guangzhou in Buriram. And the second of the double header there will be Port FC against Kitchi. Can Dejan Damjanovic continue to score goals? He's scored in all 4 games so far. 40 goals. He's the tournament's all-time leading scorer now. Good ball over the top for Kaiki. Couldn't bring it under control though. Diogo just span away from him somewhat. Kaiki. Hwang Duk. But it all started so well for Viettel in the first half, but they've paid the price for not being able to get a second goal, really. Haven't created too many clear-cut opportunities. That shot from Bruno Matos in the second half was probably the best, the one that was tipped over by Chachai. There's a yellow card for Kevin Ingresso. Started his career in Germany with Hamburg reserves. Played in the Philippines for a while with Ceres, who are now United FC. They're playing in this competition as well in the group stages. Never shows too much emotion on the sideline. He's not a very animated coach, Hans-Jürgen Gede. He sits there very methodically, just watching the game and obviously mentally taking a note of things. But his side have been well beaten in this second half. Back to Nguyen Man. Now Tan Bin. Three wins out of 4 will be a very good return for the Thais. Here's Diogo. Went for the early one. Nguyen Man comfortable at his near post. Viettel will be missing their captain for the next match. Not High, who was picked up a yellow card earlier on in the game. I've only made 2 substitutions, Viettel. Hans-Jürgen Gede wanting to see if the players that are on the field could get them out of their predicament, but been clever substitutions made by Aurelio Vidmar. He has had to make a couple late on due to injuries. Apusat being the case in point, coming on a moment or so ago for Ernesto. It's away by Victor. Those 3 changes at half-time, though, just helped change the shape. Kaiki trying to burst through, tracked by Surichat. I think the referees brought that back for a foul on Pedro when Kaiki wanted the advantage. He was inside the penalty area. Surichat was coming back at him. There was the foul by Chatri. Kaiki just got the better of Surichat, and you could see his reaction as soon as he heard the whistle go. Was the chance at the other end for Tirasil. Well, we know Bruno Matos can strike them. That's not a good one this time. Too much on it. No need for the goalkeeper to make a save on that occasion. Viettel are now making a couple of late changes. Pedro is going off, the goal scorer, and Mandung is coming off. Kaiki coming off as well. And Min Tuan is the player that's come on. Jahar heads back. Nguyen Man bowls out quickly to Nok Hai to see if they can get moving forward again. 4 minutes to go. Man Dung. We'll see him in action tomorrow. Dejan Damjanovic broke the record during the course of this tournament. 4 in 4 at the moment. That's over the top. Gathered by Chachai. Tienan with a throw. Is there a goal in this for Viettel right at the end? Just a consolation, maybe. Trong Huang. It's too far out of Bruno Matos' reach. Tirasil. Tirasil's away. He was onside that time. Chatri back to Chachai. Be interesting to hear the thoughts of Aurelio Vidmar after the match. So he'd obviously got a plan in mind at half-time. He made that triple substitution and it really just changed the shape of the game. They were back in it 11 minutes into the second half. Actually scored 3 goals in 9 minutes. Here's Bruno Matos, another shot which will test Chachai. That one I think was going wide. Didn't carry too much power from the Brazilian. He said before the game, the Australian coach, that it was the proverbial 6-pointer. Well, his sides have... They are only going to get 3 points, but it will feel like 6 points because it puts them 3 points behind Ulsan Hyundai with a match to play. And they still have to play Ulsan. What a game that will be, the final group game. If BG can get past Kaya in the next match. Bruno Matos. He could go level on points with Ulsan Hyundai. And if the goal difference swings in their favour, they could go through as group winners, BG Pathum United. What a story that would be. Not so for Hans-Jürgen Gede. He's going to have to dig deep to get his side prepared. So they will play Ulsan in 3 days' time. This will be tough to take, having got the lead. They'll be missing their captain, Nok Hai, who picked up that yellow card. A yellow card for Sahara. Quick to apologise. Huang Duck, the player that went down, he was never going to get the ball from that angle. Didn't need to make the challenge. It's an unnecessary yellow card, really. A bit too overeager to impress. Three minutes added time then at the end of the game. BG Pathum United heading on to 9 points, 3 wins out of 4. Viettel stuck on 3. Good ball towards Tirasil. Knock high was the covering defender. Huang Duck. It's good play. 2 waiting in the centre. Mandung. He's given a free kick. Challenged by Victor. I don't think he would have kept the ball in play. It's a little fortunate to have got the free kick there. Victor took a tumble. Just put an arm out to try and grab out at Mandung. Chatchayenko with a little bit more defending to do before the final whistle goes. Taken short, knock high into a crowd of players, and it was always speculative from there with that many bodies back behind the ball. And that many attackers in there as well, to be honest. Away by Diogo. Victor stuck out a knee. Look at that for a reaction. Anybody'd think that that would have been a winning goal. It would have only reduced the deficit. Min Tuan. Good defending again. One last chance maybe. Victor's header again. It's been immense at the back in this second half. Victor, Tunez and Chatri have been superb. That's almost picked out Diogo. Jaha. Chatri got up highest too, nodded it back to his goalkeeper, Chatchai. There goes the full-time whistle. A big, big win for BG Pathum United, who trailed to that 23rd minute goal from Pedro. But they battle back. A triple change at the start of the second half. Goals from Chawat, Tunez and Diogo, all in the space of 8 minutes. Give Aurelio Vidmar the proverbial 6 points that he wanted. He pulls them 3 points behind Ulsan Hyundai, and they still have to play the Koreans on the final match day. But BG Pathum United nicely placed, 9 points now. They could still go through, even as not as a group winner, but as a second place finisher. It really depends on their last 2 matches. It's Kaya up next for them, then Ulsan Hyundai. It's finished here at their home stadium, the Pathum Thani Stadium. Viettel 1, BG Pathum United 3.